Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. How is everyone tonight? What did you get a look at my thumbnail? The United States Senate has been defiled. But we've known that's been going on for quite some time. But the American people will be told. They will see firsthand what's going on. It's going to come out to them piece by piece. And we're witnessing the production of the greatest show on earth, as I've said. Something is going to be shown to the people. I should have put in my title, Civilization in Crisis, because we've known this is not a call to arms. This is not trying to excite the sensibilities. We've known, many of us, for over a decade with certainty, that this is a period of time in history, not just for the United States of America, but for Western civilization and the foundations of morality, the rule of law, are being challenged by forces that are, as Mr. T said, an invisible enemy hidden in the dark. But we're shining light on it every day. I appreciate everyone who's coming in to the live stream tonight. As I expressed last night, I've got an email that I'm going to be throttled to some degree, a great degree. And I had just barely avoided the whole entire channel being ixnayed, as they used to say in pig Latin, right? Ixnayed. But anyway, let me see who's coming in. And everybody who tunes in after the program, I appreciate you watching. And while you got the notion in your head, you know you're going to like it. So go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Or if you're coming in here to say, what's this character talking about? I don't like people like him. I don't like him. He believes in law and order. He believes in borders, language, and culture. That makes him a bad person. Go ahead and give me a thumbs down. Why not? Ha ha ha. Hi, Susie. Hi, Andrew. Bubba. Rubber Toe. B-Dog. Melinda. Sherry. Jersey Joe. Alicia. Nice to see you all. Hi, Marla. You got to come in. Nice to see you. And Nikki said, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and share. Hi, Alan. How are you doing? Gary, nice to see you. Everybody's rolling in. Ronald. So, did you all get to see that news that I put up there, or is it, a lot of times I'll tell stuff before they get on the big channels. You know what I'm talking about, the big channels like X and then Tutu and we know. So Jill found Hunter's staff before decorating. Oh my word, she won't be able to talk for a week. Hi, Chris. So yeah, there was a report out that people are talking to Jill Biden, trying to get her to talk Joe out of running again. So, it's all smoke and mirrors. I think a lot of people are being forced to public humiliation, and or either that, or they're just being forced down a road that they have no other way to go. So we'll see how that turns out. But that's right, Melinda. I almost got terminated. That reminds me, when I was growing up, I seen a couple in a Buick, a white Buick that was, no matter how much you washed it, it still kind of looked gray. It was old, had dents all over it, and they had just took off from their wedding, and they had Schlitz beer cans tied to the back bumper, bouncing around, boom, 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 bling, bling, and they had shaving cream all over the car and ribbons all over the car, and on the backs they wrote in soap, "Just marred." Marred. Just marred. And down the road they went to their new future. So, yeah, almost got terminated. Melinda, that's a good way to put it. So, it's not every day you get marred. Fancy Oak, how you doing? So, well, the story is on that picture up there on my thumbnail. That's a screenshot. And there was a little clip put up by the Daily Caller, of all things, that this staffer for a senator filmed himself and another individual of questionable repute doing something in a hearing room, a Senate hearing room. Needless to say, they were clothed entirely in the nude, and it was I guess they identify as guys, but anyway, it was let me see what I got that article down here. What's his name? He's a staffer. And that reminds me of when they had that slush fund. Remember that slush fund? Nobody ever talked about it. Where that was in the House. It might have been the Senate too. They saved up money, and anybody got complaining about another House member messing around with an aide or a staff member, they used our money to buy them off. Isn't that awful? But this has a earmarks of the same thing. That was, I'm going from memory till I find the article. I'm searching my archives here. Was Senator Ben Cardin. Senator Ben Cardin's staffer took a friend into, here he is. They put a thing up on Truth Social where Joe Biden put a tweet out. They put it up above that photo. We need to restore honor and decency to the White House. And right below it, they got this Daily Caller article, Senate staff busted making GAY, and then the other word is POR, and then N, a video in the Senate hearing room. They actually made a video. So, yeah, we'll see if CNN reports on that. And hey, I'm not breaking any guidelines. I'm talking very respectable, but I'm just letting everybody knows what's going on in the people's house, right? The people's house. So I know if you can, spend 2.5 years in jail for walking on the grass or whatever they're getting them for. Excuse me, I have a sip of my coffee. Man, that's good. But anyway, no, Melinda said news won't report it. I don't know. Did you see how Vivek was trying to put his 2 cents in, and that CNN reporter just interrupted him 6 ways to Sunday? I'm gonna bleep stuff out of my phone. But anyway, the man caught having GAY, okay, S3X in a Senate hearing room has been identified. He is Senator Ben Cardin's staffer, and Ben Cardin is a Democrat out of Maryland. And his name is Aidan, Aidan, Mace, Maese. And it sounds like a name from over in the Eastern Bloc near Serbia or maybe even Ukraine. I don't know. It's Czerowski. Soropsky. And he's got his little I guess Facebook. No, it's Twitter. He's got his Twitter, a screenshot of his Twitter account here. Says legislative aid at United States Senate, Washington, District of Columbia. And a blue, little blue thing says contact info. So you can contact Aiden if you care to. So anyway, no, it wasn't Cardin. It was another person his age. And they have, yeah, they're, you know, going all the way. So, oh, my screen's a little froze up here. I was saying I have a notion. I posted on Truth Social. Truth Social, and on maybe that's why I got in trouble, because I mentioned that site. I'll have to say TS from now on. That might be one of the reasons I got in trouble. Hi, Lone Wolf. How you doing? Em, how you doing? Gary said that's nothing compared to what's really been going on there. Man, you have to, if you go in one of them Senate hearing rooms, you got to take a can of Lysol, spray the chair and everything. My word. Anyway, I had posted on, what did I post on TS? Gee whiz, I just had it on the tip of my tongue. But Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden made a comment to a reporter that if Trump wins, he's going to flee the country. He's going to leave the country if Trump wins. So I put a copy of that, a Breitbart article. Let me see if I can find the words to use, because I went down memory lane, and I want to ask y'all, we get some more people in here. Mr. T posted some interesting stuff. I'll get to Hunter in a second. Mr. T posted a article where former FBI agent sentenced to 50 months for aiding Russian oligarch. A former top FBI agent has been sentenced to more than 4 years in prison Thursday for violating sanctions on Russia and working for a Russian oligarch in Manhattan federal court. He was sentenced. So 50 months, that's 2 years and 2 months. And I guess many of you have heard, and those of you who have not, that Clay Higgins was giving an interview. Was it to Megyn Kelly? I'm not sure. But he said these top guys at the FBI, they're going to have to answer. They're going to pay for what they've done. All the big shots. Hi, Donna. How you doing? Baba, how you doing? So there's one guy that's paying, and we haven't heard what happened to the guy that the FBI guy that Trump likes to say he got, or does he use the term frog marched out of the building? What was his name? I can't think of it, but it'll come to me. We're gonna be seeing more of this. So we got that one character, and then Mr. T posted this. Elise Stefanik has made a complaint against a judge who has ruled in January 6th Trump cases. And I'll read you part of the article about that. So she's making formal complaints that have to be responded to. And if this case that we discussed last night about the scope of the statute that many of the J6 defendants were convicted of or are currently in jail over, gets thrown out, right now there would be 300 and some people let out of jail. Not only that, but hundreds of prior convictions are going to be overturned. So the New York Republican and staunch allies is asking for an ethics investigation, arguing the judge has engaged in, quote, highly inappropriate political speech. So this is, I didn't know which judge you were talking about. I thought they were talking about the one I called Judge Mascara. We haven't heard too much out of him yet. Hi, Doug. How you doing? Sissy, how you doing? Ivan, nice to see you. Quilp. Yeah, happy Friday. Ha ha. So anyway, Washington. Representative Elise Stefanik filed a complaint Friday alleging judicial misconduct by a federal judge who has overseen various and then the other word is 6 cases. She is a member of House GOP leadership and formally requested an investigation into U.S. District Court Judge Beryl Howell, Beryll, Beryl Howell. And I said, is that a guy or a girl? It's a lady. So, over what the New York Republican called highly inappropriate political speech by the judge in November. So, they're referring specifically, I got to keep jumping out. I've got another device where I've got some posts I might want to read you all, see if you all want me to do that or not. And also something about Instagram. But anyway, on November 27th, when she accepted an award at a Women's White Collar Defense Association gala, Stefanik argues Howell's remarks were, quote, hardly apolitical, and that the judge's remarks were, quote, plainly inappropriate, consisting of partisan statements, election interference, and improper extrajudicial statements, while criminal cases are pending. You know, that is really important. We've been seeing a lot of that. Judges are supposed to be impartial and keep their yap shut. But that hadn't been the case here lately. Howell declined NBC News' request for comment, and a spokesman for the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia did not immediately return a request for comment. So Howell's acceptance speech is when she made the most egregious comments, focused on the cruciality of facts and cited the attack on the Capitol. My DC judicial colleagues and I regularly see the impact of big lies at the sentencing of hundreds and hundreds of individuals who have been convicted for offense conduct on J6 2021 when they disrupted the certification of the 2020 presidential election. So she was calling it a big lie and how it adversely affected hundreds and hundreds of people. Well, if it turns out that those charges were a bunch of garbage, they're going to all get thrown out, and over 300 people will be released. Now, I believe it was over 1,200 people. And well, what else has happened? We got reports that a registered nurse, I've got somewhere an article, I come across it, but a registered nurse, I think she lives in maybe up north, New Hampshire. But anyway, she got interviewed like a year and a half, 2 years ago, and said, yeah, I went in the building, but I didn't do nothing wrong. And they rounded up all the people that rounded up. They didn't get her, but they saw her on some of the tapes that have been released. But she didn't do anything wrong. But they arrested her just the other day. Then you have a reporter who got left alone. He got interviewed, but they didn't do nothing to him. Now he's just got notified that he's got to turn himself in. I got his article down here somewhere. I got so many articles because I went on that little tangent about what's going on in the church. Crisis at the Vatican, really. It really is. And here's something else DJ put up about a poll about Democrats. Majority of Democrats don't want Joe. They'd rather have Trump. What does it say? Headline USA.com. Democrat voters are now like Trump more than Biden. Demetrio Henry Aleskandrov is a writer. He said leftists who once were enthusiastically voting for Biden in 2020 are now turning on the current Democrat nominee by admitting that they'd rather see Trump in the White House. Ain't that something? And Dan Scavino, he didn't put up much throughout the day, but he put up, I'll read you which state. I mean, Trump's got a lead in 10 swing states. KNS Cleanup, how you doing? And I tell you, I watched Archbishop Vigano's video again. I could watch it over and over. And I saw another video where the entire conclave of bishops in Guyana are unified in defiance of, and I'm using air quotes, Pope Francis, because as we discussed last night, Vigano is rejecting that title, but he says as men, we can't do anything about it right now. It has to be handled spiritually. But as shepherds, we must speak out, because if we're silent, as Jesus said, the stones will cry out. So he's made a commitment to be at odds with the chair of Peter. Let's put it that way. I'll go into that in a little bit more too. So the entire conclave of bishops are against Pope Francis, in that they have joined forces with the majority of the legislature in Guyana, where they have been pressured to legalize same-sex marriage and strike their laws off the books against those kind of behaviors. And they're passing legislation saying, no, we're leaving things the way they are, and we will not support it, period. A marriage is between a man and a woman, and people are not to openly promote. This is in another country now. Openly promote, especially to children, same S3X behaviors. Okay, so that is really I guess I would say, slap in the face to the what else did Vigano call him? The Franciscan Argentinian. The Argentine from Franciscan Argentine is what he said. So, among other things, he said it was a shock that a member of Freemasonry would be in the chair of Peter. That's what he said. And he's mentioning these secret societies and I hope you all got a chance to watch it. And maybe Nikki and I will do a broadcast that plays his videos, and we can pause it at times and discuss the points he's making. I don't know. Is the Pope Catholic? That is the name of the video while it lasts on Utizzle. Because as you know, they're not above taking things like that down. So I was thinking, we have had champions, okay? Champions in the church. Many of you who have been with me for a while remember a video I put up of a nun. She was behind her microphone. She was an elderly nun, and she kept calling people my beloved, the people she was talking to, my beloved. I know Nikki would remember. I know Bubba would remember. And she brought out the fact that there were worldwide dark forces, okay? And she felt that their ultimate goal was for us to be out of the picture, so to speak. And that video was on my old channel. And that got taken down within hours. And my whole channel got wiped out. But if you all remember her, she was in a white outfit with a black head cover, and she had a big microphone. She was at her desk, and she said that the Supreme Pontiff was in on it. And this was a year ago. I played that nun. I don't know her name. But you have her. You have Bishop Strickland. I talked about him last night, America's bishop. You have Vigano. You have this conclave of bishops in Guyana. And it's going to pick up steam. Haha, Doug, that's good. You got people celebrating Christmas. That's a good thing. That's right, Gary. Secret Society is starting to show themselves. Well, we're gonna put a spotlight in those dark corners and point them all out and put them on blast, especially like these two little creepos that think so little of their country as to behave the way they did in that Senate meeting room. Okay, we demand that they immediately be arrested and immediately escorted off the property, never to come set foot on Capitol grounds again, and arrest them for what they've done. Going to tell me they can do something like that in a Senate office building or meeting room and nothing happened to them? So anyway, we're going to start. Hey, we're going to have law and order. Speaking of that, Rudy Giuliani. I have an article that I had a couple of days ago that I didn't read, where he said he was going to testify, and then he said he wasn't going to testify. And I'm going from memory here. But to some people, what he said, I just took a sip of coffee. Sorry. I'll mute my mic next time. To some people, he said may have been confusing. He said, I don't want to testify. The defendants have been through enough. And it doesn't mystify me why he decided not to testify. But Rudy Giuliani ordered to pay damages to Ruby Freeman and her daughter. $148 million in damages to Ruby Freeman. So a lot of people are saying, oh, I told you he's in trouble now. Ha ha. Rudy's in big trouble. Well, Rudy knows what he's doing. He didn't spend a lot of time and resources on a case that he knows no matter what he does, he could show them the proof in technicolor. Okay? He could take them in a time machine to where you pop up standing right next to them doing what they did, and they will still rule against Giuliani. So why spend the resources, the time, and effort? And what Giuliani said was that once the case gets to a higher court, how did he word that? He says the absurdity of the number, 150 million roughly, underscores the absurdity of the entire proceedings. I'm quite confident when this case gets before a fair tribunal, it'll be reversed. So that's why he took the strategy he did to just lay back and let him pull a Alec AJ. Okay, maybe that's why I got in trouble. I mentioned his name the other day, Alex, and then the other half of his name is Jones. So I don't know. So anyway, there's an article. If I get it, I will read it to you. But I'm just going through what I saw on TS Truth, and then the other word is social. Things that have been popping up. Devin Nunes posted this from Kyle Seraphin. Said, breaking today, all FBI government emails. Here's email sent to all FBI employees. And what does it have to say? It's to every FBI employee. It's got to be very important. Yes, the FBI has officially adopted the LGBTQIA plus acronym in place of LGBT plus. This change was proposed by the Bureau of Equality. Bureau Equality, one of our 9 diversity advisory committees, and approved by FBI executive management. Oh, I'm so glad they got that straightened out. You know, can you believe that the FBI was going along just saying LGBT plus and not LGBTQIA plus? Wow, man. Now, well, I guess let's go check out some Catholics about all that HATE behavior towards, I don't know, Senate staffers. The Rock was at a Pentagon meeting with officials. Well, oh, it's a new countdown. I see what's going on. I'm trying to see what's going on in the chats. New countdown, 6 hours and 23 minutes. Well, what time does that put it at? Roughly 5 in the morning. Yeah, well, I'm not going to be. Well, if they do something, it will be early in the morning. But anyway, I'm seeing this FBI communication here from the Office of Diversity and Inclusion. FBI adopts a new acronym, and it got the usual. I can read what all those initials stand for, but I'm not going to. So Liz Harrington, she put out a statement that Trump made about in Michigan. That's up Nikki's stomping grounds. A victorious ruling in Michigan on the 14th Amendment from Trump, an official letter where they are trying to use the 14th Amendment to keep him from running. And they got a positive ruling where they win the day with the Michigan Court of Appeals affirmation of the Trump campaign's victories in lower court. The SOROS funded Democrats have once again failed in their desperate attempt to interfere in the election via bad faith interpretation of the 14th Amendment. And it goes on to say, shows you how desperate they are. They're using everything they can to try to keep Trump off the ballot and deprive us of the candidate we want. Yeah, here's Clay Higgins. Clay Higgins, what he was saying in his interview. They're going down. These men in their high perch, they're not going to get away with it. And he's talking about taking down the leaders of F.B.I. who framed Trump supporters on J and then 6. So, yeah, we're far from hearing the end of it. Now we got enough people in here. I want to ask a question. I put a couple of keywords in on the boards, and it's a fantasy story. I'll put it that way so I don't get in trouble. I'm just talking fantasy. When I read that article about Hunter, I put in the word escape, and I put the word in flee, FLEE. And I came up with some interesting posts. If y'all want me to read a couple of them to you, I don't know if you give me a thumbs up if you want me to read them to you, because I certainly will. But as I say, it's just a fantasy book. I'll tell you, one of the things I hoped for turned out it's not going to happen. I was talking about who did I think would be a good VP pick for Mr. T. Well, I thought it was the Attorney General in North Carolina, Mark Robinson, right? And I played one of his speeches where he was on fire. And I said, man, wouldn't he be a great VP pick? So, well, I saw an article where it might have been Kash Patel and somebody else, Tucker maybe. They predicted that it would be a female VP. I'm getting thumbs ups. Okay. Mr. Kibler, how you doing? So then I saw an article that Mark Robinson, it's official, Mark Robinson is running for governor of North Carolina. So he won't be Mr. T's pick. Daggone it. It was Steve Bannon, Sean Spicer predict Trump will choose a female to be his running mate. So I don't know. We'll see how that works out. So anyway, let me see. I've got this other device, so I don't have to jump out of my studio and I worry about getting knocked off. So I've got this other device, and I want to take y'all on a walk down memory lane. You'll find this very exciting. I think I found it made me remember what it was all about, folks. And it's funny how I'll run across the same post and stuff that we've discussed recently. I put in the word escape, right? And I think it was 14 posts came up saying escape. And this one, the first one was 43, 49. Now, this is just a fantasy thing. It's just a a game people play. It doesn't mean nothing, in case there's anybody listening. But anyway, it's got a picture of Georgie Porgy, right? And it's got one of his quotes saying, "Destroying America will be the culmination of my life's work." And underneath that, it says, "Nobody escapes this." Ah, that was interesting. The other one I pulled up, it's funny how I've used these posts in my thumbnails, pictures. It's got a picture of a movie poster that says "Panic in DC in theaters now." I've used that before. And I have quoted this before. People actually believe those responsible for the attempted coup, brackets Q attempt, of a duly elected sitting president will go unpunished, question mark. And I use this as a title in one of my videos, and I used it on my thumbnail. End to our constitutional republic. No equal justice under the law. No accountability. Escape unscathed. Buckle up. Wow. Then the next one had a movie poster that says FISA Gate. Okay. Remember that? I put a picture of that very same poster. It's got Obama in the picture, Hillary in the picture, Comey in the picture, Loretta Lynch in the picture, McCabe, remember him, in the picture. And it's got quotes like critics, Mark Meadows, Jim Jordan, Matt Gaetz, Steve King, Scott Perry, saying, "Oh, what I saw was shocking. This is amazing." So it's a movie poster that I have posted in the past, and it repeats the exact same thing. People think they're going to get away with this. The exact same thing I just read. So I'm going through some things here that are, I tell you, if you want to do some recreational investigation, just put that word in, and it'll bring back memories. Believe me. Here's one that I found interesting, especially since there was a news report that Zuckerberg had first of all, somebody he had high up in Meta, Facebook, he hired to oversee the DEI, is it? Diversity, whatever the hell, stole $4 million from Facebook. Okay. They're prosecuting her, or at the very least investigating her. Well, then I saw an article where he has got a home in Hawaii, and people are reporting on, I'll say, underground structures under his place in Hawaii. Then he has an escape chute. That's what they call it. CHUTE. I was reading about all that stuff. Well, what did I pull up when I put up escape? MZ means Mark Zuckerberg. Y'all help me with these initials. RT. RT. I can't, This is back a ways in time. I can't remember it. But it says big meeting. MZRT, big meeting. Cell phones left at door. +8. +8 people. MZRT +8 other people left their cell phones at the door. 5 of the people are political. 1 is a former intelligence director. John Brennan, maybe so. Mask and spin. Y'all know what that means, mask and spin? That means when you cover somebody's eyes up and spin them around, and then you take them to a place they don't know where they are, right? That's how serious this meeting was. Identify friendly, quote, insiders. Mainstream media, support and talking points. Shift narrative. Fail. We hear you. We have the algorithm. Thank you, @Snowden. Learn chess. Down she goes. Nobody escapes this. Capital letters, nobody. Then the next one is another picture I used in my thumbnail. It's where Trump is poking Obama in the chest with his finger and says, when I'm done, it'll be like you were never even here. And below that, it's got a picture of the Punisher. And below that, it says, when we're done, he'll claim Kenyan citizenship as a way to escape. Ha ha ha. So I'm like, gosh, out of the 14 thumbnails, I found half dozen I've used and quoted and read. Remember, there was almost 5,000 posts, folks. Rex Tillerson, B-Dog, said, all right, you got it. Now, here's a good one. Here's another word I hadn't figured out, or letters and numbers. How did @Snowden clear customs/immigration in Hong Kong after public release? Why wouldn't he first travel to the final destination prior to public release? His final destination was Russia. If wanted by the U.S. government, wouldn't he be cleared to travel? Who provided support for escape? Who was the U.S. during this time? Who was the U.S. during this time? Julian Assange, J.A. And it says, have you learned and eliminated L-6? What's L-6? I don't know. It says use logic. But I'm trying to find the one. It's only 14 of them. Oh, boy. This one's a scary one. This one is a scary one. I'll read it in a second. I want to take, I'm scrolling through some of these because I want to read you all the one that started the whole thing, the whole fantasy board. On October 28th, 2017, the day after Trump did there's a storm coming, they said, what storm? And he said, you'll find out. I played that little short video clip, right? Thank you, Nikki. If you'd like to support the channel. Oh, I want to thank Aaron, the Godfather. He's also a founder. Him and Rockin' Robin are founders, so buy me a coffee. Once a founder, always a founder. But anyway, Aaron stopped by, buy me a coffee, and he left me a message that says, whoa. Oh, 18 minutes ago, I was reading on my other device. I didn't even get to see this, but Gary came by, buy me a coffee. Thank you so much, Gary. I do appreciate it. I was on my other device so I could read these drops, these fantasy drops. But anyway, thank you, Gary. And also, Aaron stopped by last night, and he said I guess he heard where I said I was taking. They won't let me post the link, so he said just went to buy me a coffee and searched Mountain Man. All old links dead. YT is only fooling themselves. Thanks again. Hope you have a Merry Christmas. The Godfather. So all he did was go to buy me a coffee and typed in Mountain Man, and it popped up, and he bought some coffee, and I do appreciate it. Thank you, Gary. And I want to thank Lone Wolf for helping me out. I do appreciate it. Helped sponsor last night's show. But anyway, this is the first post that was ever done. I'm getting confused which device I need to talk into now. Okay, the one with the, okay, thank you, Gary. And got boom, boom, boom. Nikki gave him 3 booms. But anyway, excuse me for a second. Anyway, it said Hillary Clinton will be arrested between 7:45 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Monday, the morning on October 30th, 2017. Everybody went, what? This is number 1. If you put in the symbol for a number, #1, this is what comes up. The one that started it all, October 28th, 2017. It says HRC extradition already in motion, effective yesterday with several countries in case of cross-border run. Passport approved to be flagged, effective 10:30 at 12:01 a.m. Expect massive riots organized in defiance and others fleeing the U.S. to occur. USMs will conduct the operation, that's Marines, while NG activated, that's National Guard. Proof check, locate a National Guard member and ask if activated for duty, 10:30 across major cities. People are, oh, that never happened. You know, this is all a hoax and this and that. Well, we know it's much, much more than that. We know they were playing mind games with them, getting them scared, getting them to talk to each other. And another big one that got everybody talking was number 34. About 3 days. 3 days after the first one, this is number 34. And this is what a lot of us are supposed to look to Twitter for. Says, and I've talked about that clearance level, okay? And it starts with saying that particular letter, clearance patriot. Okay? I might as well say Q clearance patriot. If that, boy, I'll probably get myself in trouble there. But anyway, it says, my fellow Americans, over the course of the next several days, you will undoubtedly realize that we are taking back our great country, the land of the free, from the evil tyrants that wish to do us harm and destroy the last remaining refuge of shining light. On POTUS's order, we have initiated certain fail-safes that shall safeguard the public from the primary fallout, which is slated to occur 11.3 upon the arrest announcement of Mr. Podesta, actionable 11.4. Remember In the video that I just discussed with Archbishop Vigano, he said a few weeks ago Podesta was arrested. Okay, I'm just mentioning that. Confirmation to the public of what is occurring will then be revealed and will not be openly accepted. Public riots are being organized in serious numbers in an effort to prevent the arrest and capture of more senior officials. On POTUS's order, a state of temporary military control will be actioned and special ops carried out. False leaks have been made to retain several within the confines of the United States to prevent extradition and special operator necessity. Well, the bottom line is, I'm not finished with this particular post, but the bottom line is that this very well may have been maybe a false leak to get them all stirred up. But anyway, it goes on to say, rest assured, the safety and well-being of every man, woman, and child of this country is being exhausted in full. However, the atmosphere within the country will unfortunately be divided, as so many have fallen for the corrupt and evil narrative that has long been broadcast. We'll be initiating the Emergency Broadcast System, EMS, during this time in an effort to provide a direct message avoiding the fake news to all citizens. That tells me that when they make a move, the fake news will still be in operation. Okay, otherwise they wouldn't have put that up. And Trump said, before healing can begin in this country, we got to take care of the fake news problem, or this country will never heal. Okay, so it goes on to say organizations and or people that wish to do us harm during this time will be met with swift fury. Certain laws have been pre-lifted to provide our great military the necessary authority to handle and conduct these operations at home and abroad. So those are the two biggest posts that people remember that gets the ball rolling. And I hit so many of them from just putting in flee and escape. And I when I saw that article from Breitbart, why would Hunter openly say he's going to flee the country? That reminded me of Donna Adelson saying on the jail phone call, some of you may not know which issue I'm talking about, that she was going to flee and they picked her up at the airport. But I tell you, I've got one that is kind of might as well give you the number of it so you can read it yourself. November 5th, 2017, it is about a week after the first drop. Well, no, 5 days after the first drop. No, 7 days. Okay. And it is post number 100. 100. All you got to do is put hashtag number 100 and you will find it. And I might read it. It asks a lot of questions. But before that, I had the word escape, right? I got one that is an early one, number 67. This got the attention of the world, folks. Think about it. How are you going to get millions of people around the world's attention? You put out drops like this. And Archbishop Vigano mentioned Podesta, right? Well, number 67 says, Where's John Podesta? Where's Tony Podesta? Did one or both escape the country and was let out? Where is Bo? Where was Bo yesterday? We're talking Bo Biden, right? That's what I'm thinking. This was November 3rd, 2017. What is the difference between commercial and private RE security clearance for departure? Who was the TSA head? Transportation Security Agency head? Is that what that means? Which party did he contribute to? What is of particular interest when researching? How does HS, Homeland Security, interact with TSA? What updated post 9/11 protocols were put in place to prevent, stop, inbound, outbound sea level targets? What local airports are in close proximity to DC? Well, it's Dulles, Reagan National, and Baltimore. What happened shortly after 9/11, especially with all aircraft? Who was authorized to depart? Only one plane was authorized during this, quote, mandatory force grounding. Who was specifically authorized this? Oh, who was? No, not Bo Biden. BO was Barack Obama. Sorry about that, man. I'm way off. Only one plane was authorized. I guess they're talking about when the Osama bin Laden family was taken out. Who specifically authorized this? What airport did the departure take place at? This was the bin Laden family leaving. Why is this relevant? How does it tie together? Podesta's plane has military escort, i.e. tag, and is being diverted, forced down, short delay. This will be leaked. Watch the news. Have faith. What fake news anchor will not be on air tonight? Boy, I wish I'd have cued in on that. But anyway, why is this relevant? What was stated in the past? Where did the $18 billion from Soros go? Why? This could all be for a future event now, folks. Can it be used by bad actors, escape, bribe, rogue contractors, etc.? Slush fund? Did the U.S. government seize, stop, track other slush funds that prevent or create risk to operate? Why did J.K. travel to Saudi Arabia recently? That's Jared Kushner. What is Saudi Arabia known for? Where do the biggest donations originate from? Why is this relevant? What else is relevant with Saudi Arabia? Safe harbor, port of transfer. Why was there a recent smear campaign against Jared Kushner and POTUS? Why is the timing important? Who released the article? The Council of Wizards and Warlocks cannot be defeated. Nice view up here. So they're referring to the Saudi Arabia that used to be. The Saudi Arabia before Trump got the sword dance and before that prince was overthrown and ended up literally hanging by his heels. So I'm just pointing out, when I put in the word escape, it came up with all those posts that I have gone over many, many times. And also the posts that were very early that locked millions of people around the world into what was going on behind the scenes, and the fact that there is something worldwide that's being controlled at a certain level of clearance, namely a circle with a slash at the bottom, right? We know that that clearance is there. That's right, Mary. I talked about that last night. A naval reservist got rid of that awful display. But anyway, I encourage you to brush up a little bit with that word escape. And the one that I said was kind of scary, it's got a lot of questions. It talks about, I'll tell you, it's number 520. It's too long for me to read. I see people were kind of getting bored by it, but it is, to me, fascinating. And it talks about U1, which is uranium-1. It talks about what Trump is talking about now, the money sent to Iran. It talks about Haiti, okay? And it says just what Nikki said earlier. Future proves past. I'll read you part of it. Capital letters, big. Newsweek, future proves past. What news was unlocked? Do you believe in coincidence? Greater than U1, uranium-1. What public disclosure occurred? RE, uranium-1. DEFCON 1, okay? We're talking about there's going to be a scare event, right? Non-nuke, false. Command, question. It just keeps repeating, it was necessary for God and country. It was necessary. Who is talking? Think big. Think bigger. Think biggest. Haiti focus. Why is this relevant? What comes next? CF, boom, shock, buy. Clinton Foundation, boom, shock, buy. That's what comes next. Then it says Admiral Rogers. Remember Admiral Rogers? I'm not reading it verbatim because it's a lot. I'm picking out pieces of it. You guys can look it up. Number 520. What is going to tear them up? If these happen, here we are. Oh my, I just found something we've not focused on. The Dems will threaten, quote, shutdown. But what they're really doing is shutting down our military at a time we need it most. Get smart. Capital letters, make America great again. Capital letters, we are fighting for our country. And that's in quote marks. It says, focus on POTUS's tweet above. And I guess that means get smart, make America great again. We are fighting for our country. That's one I don't remember everybody saying keep an eye out for. If D's shut down the government, What happens to the U.S. military? What specifically occurs? Think budget. Why is this relevant? Class EO, I guess, is Executive Order 2, missing 1, missing 2, missing 3. Find missing 3. So that's getting a little puzzly for me, but it does say focus on POTUS's tweet above. Make America great again. We are fighting for our country in all caps. If we see that, so I'll tell you how this ends up, and you all will find this interesting. The map is key, planned for 3 years, corruption and evil deep within, everywhere. Patience, there is no escape. Treason at the highest level. There are no deals. Foreign agents within our government, highest levels. The puppet masters have been removed. All vehicles of delivery removed. Strings cut. 7th floor is no more. FBI SD. That's, of course, we know what FBI is. State Department is the next one. We see all, we hear all. The hunt continues. Prison, DEATH in all capitals. Class _ GITMO. Okay. And then some code letters. Red, red, Iron Eagle. Iron Eagle is what they refer to sometimes as a colonel. We'll see how that turns out. But the other one that was interesting that had the word escape in it is a short post, shorter than what I just read, of course. Never gotten over the fact, this is in quotes, so I believe it's from Mr. T. Never gotten over the fact that Obama was able to send $1.7 billion in capital letters cash to Iran, and nobody in Congress, the FBI, or Justice called for an investigation, unquote. I remember Mr. T saying something very similar to that. That's why, hey, why would Hunter say he's going to escape to another country, and boom, you pull up stuff that Trump's talking about now? What is the reason for this being brought back up? There's a purpose for every tweet and crumb dropped. File the money, future-proofs past, the great awakening, no escape, no deals, trust the PLAN, happy Sunday. So this was February of 2018. February 2018, 5 years ago, about bringing up Obama's sending $1.7 billion in cash, and we also know gold, to Iran. So all that stuff's coming back. I was thinking about doing a thumbnail that showed George Washington crossing the Delaware, and typing on top of that, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, because that's when Christmas was, when Washington crossed the Delaware and got the Haitians, or the Hessians. Haitians. No, the Hessians. And they showed them no mercy. They wiped them out. Christmas Eve. So I don't know, folks. There you go. Marla's having her some bourbon. Gary said 3 years are coming up. B-Dog said Iran never got that amount. Well, they got a lot of it, close to it. So Anyway, I found it very interesting, and I'm not bringing this stuff up to get people going, oh my, or sit up and wait for the EMS system or none of that. I'm just saying to expect the unexpected, be prepared. It might be next Christmas, but we know the time is coming where something's got to give. Okay? There's going to have to be some action taken for them to stop Trump, because he's steamrolling. Like I said, Dan Scavino put a post up that showed him with substantial leads in 10 swing states over Biden. And the poll that shows the majority of Democrats want Trump over Biden. Those are powerful facts. And I believe CNN, MSNBC, all those characters are being forced to report those facts. So their crunch time is coming. Sometime within the next 12 months, there's going to be a crunch time, big time. And Trump had a post I didn't read yesterday, and I didn't catch anybody else reading it either. And I'm going from memory, but I'm certain of this. He said, I will, and he posted it himself, I will straighten out the economy, or I will kickstart the economy, something to that effect, before Christmas of 2024. No, 2023. Let me find that. No, I'll have to find it. But I've got 50, 60, 70 different articles in here that are new. But how would he jumpstart the economy that quick? If I'm misremembered and it's 2024, how could he have an election in 2024 and then be able to kickstart? Here's the quote was, "Flee America. Report: Hunter Biden threatens to flee America if Donald Trump is reelected." And they put it in quote marks. So how can he jumpstart the economy? Promise to have the economy jump-started before Christmas of either year without something happening. I'd rather find it so I can read it verbatim. Let me see. Oh my gosh, there's a picture of that so-called White House Christmas party. What a disgrace. I see what Gary put in there, Sarah Jassara, that he may have put a time bomb where his executive order automatically has to go into play. And if it's got Nassar or National Economic Recovery Act. Hi, Tanya. Nice to see you. You're new here. Reba says oil. Bubba said drill, baby, drill. I'm scrolling through these articles to find which year he said that, because I thought it was odd. Here's an article. Elon Musk is planning a new university in Austin. He spent $2.2 billion for his foundation in 2022. So if you couple that with what Trump was talking about, the American Institute that's going to be free to all people who want to learn about their country and get a bachelor's degree, it's going to change I mean, our education system has destroyed the brains of so many people that we need things like that. Elon Musk and Trump with the American Institute. I'm still looking for that article. Which year was Trump talking about? Here it is. I found it. It was two things that Trump posted yesterday. The next economic boom will begin the instant the world knows that crooked Joe Biden is gone and Donald Trump has won 4 more years as president of the United States. And the second one, he says, Trump highlights failed Bidenomics, pledges to kickstart the economy before Christmas of 2024. So the thing is, if the election is early November of 2024, he doesn't take office till January 20th, 2025. How is he going to kickstart the economy before Christmas of 2024? I'm not trying to get technical, but do you see why I would wonder about how he's going to do that? We all should wonder. But anyway, I've gone way over my hour, and I know Nikki's got to get her rest. And I thank you all. I thank Gary for helping out on Buy Me a Coffee tonight. I thank Aaron for helping me out, and Lone Wolf for sponsoring yesterday's program. And I used to have a link in the description. But if you go to Buy Me a Coffee and type in Mountain Man, it'll be there. And if you want to help the channel out, I appreciate it. And I appreciate you all spending your precious time with me. And please don't take anything that I'm saying to make you feel that you should be agitated, distressed. I don't say it enough. I think I should say it more, that we should embrace these times. We should be grateful for this time, that we know something is happening, that people are fighting for the right and fighting for the good. We know we got DJT fighting for us. We know all the names of the patriots in our country and in our government that are fighting. We know there are people who will never know their names, are sacrificing and struggling to do what's right, risking everything they have for us and the future of this nation. We're also finding out, and we're seeing that people are stepping up in various pulpits, various religions. But I've been focusing on what's been happening with people battling within the machinations of the Vatican, even standing up against the Pope, America's Bishop Strickland, Archbishop Vigano, that nun that I played, where she laid out everything that we know is true, that we can play. I'll put that video up on Rumble. I've already put it up twice. But something you can share with your friends so they don't feel that it is a crazy message, and realize that this is a unique time in human history. And I appreciate you marching through history with me, spending your precious time with me. And I will be broadcasting again soon. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll know when I go live, so you can join me next time around. And I thank you all, and I'll be seeing you soon. This is Mountain Man, over and out.